More options were supposed to make you happier. Instead, they're making you buy again next week. Here's the psychology behind that, and it's not the one you've probably already heard. You've probably heard some version of this. A grocery store, a tasting table, 2 versions of the same display, 6 jars of jam, or 24. The big display pulled in more browsers. About 60% of shoppers stopped, versus 40% at the smaller one. But when it came to actually buying, the small table converted about 1 in 3 visitors. The big one converted about 1 in 30. That's the origin story of Too Much Choice. It became a best-selling book, a TED Talk, and the opening slide of 1,000 marketing decks. It's also the study sitting quietly under almost every video you've seen about why you can't decide what to buy. Here's the part those videos skip. In 2010, researchers pulled together 50 separate studies that tried to test the same idea. 63 experimental conditions, about 5,000 people combined. The average effect of adding more choices came out to roughly 0. Not small 0, and the individual studies were scattered everywhere. Some found overload, some found the opposite. Most found nothing at all. Several attempts to literally rerun the jam table failed to reproduce it. The house next door has the same problem. Decision fatigue. The idea that your willpower for choosing wears down like a battery over the day. A large multi-lab replication in 2021 couldn't find the underlying effect. A 2025 analysis of over 1 million real supermarket transactions found no drop in decision quality, as customers faced more choices per visit. So the famous study behind Choice Overwhelms You, the one probably sitting in the back of your mind right now, doesn't hold up especially well, which is a little awkward 3 videos into a channel that exists to check other people's math.
So here's the awkward follow-up question.
Choice overload, proven. 24 jams.
The meta-analysis says the average effect is 0.
In one grocery store. In 1995.
That grocery table had 24 jars and closed in 5 minutes. Compare that to the catalog you actually shop from. By its own marketing, Shein has claimed over 1,000 new items launch every day. Independent estimates from the last couple of years put the real number closer to 6,000 to 10,000 a day, well past 300,000 new products a year, feeding a live catalog that may run past 500,000 items at any given moment. Even the number the brand isn't embarrassed to say out loud undersells it. That's not a bigger table. That's a table that never closes. And that changes the psychology completely. It's not about how many jars sit in front of you right now. It's that there's always a better jar arriving tomorrow, so no decision ever quite finishes. Psychologists have a name for the people most prone to this. Maximizers, the ones who keep comparing instead of settling once something is good enough. And maximizers consistently report more regret about their choices than people who just pick what works, even when, by any outside measure, they chose just as well. An endless, constantly refreshing catalog doesn't need to convince anyone to become a maximizer. It just puts everyone in maximizer conditions, by default, every single day. Here's where it gets specific to the buy again part, and it's more precise than it sounds. Regret right after a purchase usually does the opposite of what you'd expect. It tends to make people less likely to impulse buy again right away, not more. That should be good news. Except researchers tracking this over time found the effect fades. As the sting of a bad purchase gets forgotten, the pull toward the next one comes back, and for people prone to avoiding uncomfortable feelings, it comes back faster. In a store that closes at 6, forgetting takes a while. In a catalog that never closes and never stops showing you something slightly better, a while can be next week. Clothes bought online get returned at roughly 3 times the rate of clothes bought in a store, and a return doesn't end the cycle because the tab that replaces it in your feed is already loading. None of this gets fixed by trying harder to resist temptation. The endless catalog problem isn't a willpower problem, so a willpower solution won't hold. 3 things actually interrupt it. First, decide what good enough looks like before you open the app. A specific, written Good enough, not the best one available. Setting the criteria in advance is what separates a satisficer from a maximizer, and it works regardless of how much willpower you happen to have that day. Second, turn off the personalized new arrivals feed. That's not a helpful feature. That's the mechanism from a minute ago, running quietly in your pocket. Third, borrow the rule from the capsule wardrobe video. If it doesn't pair with at least 3 things you already own, the decision is closed. Full stop. No more scrolling to check whether something better exists. It isn't a better decision, it's just a longer one. It was never really about having too many options in the room. It's a catalog engineered to never run out of them, so no choice ever quite gets to feel finished. Which raises something we haven't actually explained yet. Why does finishing a purchase feel so good in the first place, even when the math says you didn't need it? That's what we're unpacking next. The psychology of the haul.